Let the ball roll. Let me roast this guy. Let me finish him.
I know
That's
you've been
what I don't
studying
have time.
since. Therefore, bro.
Yes,
Studying
so.
fast.
Okay.
No, I was studying to roast Frank. That's an insult on my football knowledge.
Okay.
Hello, guys. And today, in fact, this section is interesting because I have an Arsenal and a Man U fan. As in, they're going to be roasting because everybody is proving their team is the better team.
I was just watching him kiss his trophyless jerseys. I was
Mm.
like, okay, you can kiss your jersey.
So,
Don't worry.
both of you now, you want to prove that your team, you need to convince me, and we start so that your team is the better team. I'm going to start with Rashford and Saka. Both players are good. They are very, very good now. But if I'm to pick, or if you have to convince me, who do you think is the better forward? Is it Rashford or is it Saka? Kuti, let me start with you. Who is the better forward, Rashford or Saka?
First of all, I don't like the fact that you're starting with me. My team is leading the table. I'm the team currently in form. He's supposed to start, then I'll teach him. But no problem. You will learn from this. But I'll lecture him on this. So yeah, Saka and Rashford, definitely. Rashford is without taking anything away from Rashford. Rashford is a very good player, and this season has been his season. I mean, this is his best season ever in Manchester United jersey. So far he has been good, but when you're comparing him with Saka, the problem I have with Man U fans is any little thing their player does, they feel like no, he's the world best. What Rashford is doing right now, Saka has done it like 2 seasons in a row. This guy came into the scene as an 18-year-old, 19-year-old when Arsenal was down. He practically took Arsenal. Saka was, I remember his debut season, he was the one that took Arsenal, scoring, assisting. He did it for the first season, did the second season. He has shown that he's very versatile when he's playing football. He plays on the right wing, can play on the left wing, he can play as a defender, and he plays those positions very well. So as a footballer, holistically, is much better to me than Rashford. Yeah, Rashford is having good numbers this season, but numbers aside, look at what he contributes into the team as a whole. Can Man U be down and depend on Rashford? I don't think so. Rashford is only playing well right now because Man U is playing well. Saka is a player that will play well whether Arsenal plays well or not. He's not even beyond Arsenal. He has taken it to England. In the World Cup, Saka was one of the best players for England in the World Cup. In the Euros, Saka was one of the best players for England in the Euros. This is somebody that has played different positions on the football pitch. He contributes. Defensively, he contributes. Attack-wise, he contributes. He can score goals. He can create. Rashford, to me, is just right. This season is a very potent, proficient goal scorer. He scores goals, but apart from his goals contribution, rarely we use Rashford do any other thing. Defensively, he rarely contributes. In fact, these Man fans are shouting. As at this time last season, they were praying that they should sell Rashford. They didn't even want them to renew Rashford's contract. That's how bad it was. So suddenly, because he has hit form this season, Rashford is the best. He's better than everybody in the world.
No. The only doctor in EPL.
Football is not like that. They don't need doctors to play football.
So Frank, Frank, he said star boy Saka. God's child, no more than that is better than Dr. Rashford. Do you agree with that?
Well, this argument is almost too easy for me, really. They're not even on the same pedestal. They're not close. Saka is doing a good job, yes. But you have to understand, let's start from how I knew about Saka. The first Arsenal game I watched with Saka in it, he was playing the left back position. He couldn't even. When I listen to you talk, let me talk. He was playing wing back position because he couldn't break into the team enough to start in his natural position, which is the wing forward. He was playing the left back position. I'm trying to show you his transcendence, how he rose. Like, yes, he's having a fantastic season. Like, if I was going to call Premier League team of the season right now, of course there will be Saka to the left, Rashford to the right. I'll do it that way easily. So both of them will start in my team. But to place who is better, you just mentioned the World Cup now. Rashford had a better World Cup. We all know that Southgate is a very retarded manager. He's not so smart because his choice selection were messed up. That's why England didn't do so well at the World Cup. If he had picked the right players and started the right players. He was busy picking Hurricane, regardless of whatever Hurricane does. He was picking the funniest midfield. He was benching the best wingers. He took him forever to even start Folding. Folding was having a beautiful beginning of the season at that point. So we cannot use the World Cup because the World Cup, Rashford scored the worldie of a free kick in the World Cup that we both know Saka cannot, will not even be allowed to take a free kick like that, even in his present Arsenal team. But that's by the way. Then let's talk about early in his career when Rashford broke into the scene. The first two games, his Champions League debut and his Premier League debut was quick fire double against yours faithfully, Arsenal. And then he set it. Like immediately we could tell that okay, this boy is here to stay. Any Manchester United fan that told you that he wanted Rashford out of the team didn't know anything about Rashford. Because of course, we have a lot of delusional fans. I know a lot of Arsenal fans that will tell me Saka is better than Mbappe. I don't think everybody knows it's not possible. But I've met delusional fans that say Partey is even world best or Odegaard is better than De Bruyne. So I would not speak on behalf of all Manchester United fans. I would like to think I'm one of the more reasonable Manchester United fan that know the right things. I won't just jump and say, oh, everybody in Manchester United is better. No, I won't do that. But to compare Rashford to Saka, come on now. I'm not even talking about the humanitarian aspect or what he means to England. Let's just take that out of the way. Because, of course, there are levels to this thing. The fact that, you're making, one is feeding all the youth and everybody, all the children in school, one is doing video calls with Kim Kardashian. So you see that there are levels to this. There are levels to this. And when we talk about goal scoring, when we talk
Oh
about goal
my god.
when we talk about goal scoring, Rashford has been playing with an injury for the past 3 years. Real Manchester United fan knows this. He was supposed to have a surgery for the past 3 years and he didn't because there is nobody to feel. Because Manchester United have been playing with a lot of luck. So the young boy was like, okay, please just sacrifice. We know you are not even 60% fit, but play. So the Rashford you've been comparing all this while, 60% fit Rashford. As soon as he was fit, he burst into the World Cup and he's been lighting up the Premier League and everywhere else since then. Check it. He's the hottest player right now. He's the hottest prospect. He's the hottest player, and he's still very young. He's 25 years old, so he has a long time to go. You have to understand that we have different maturity. We have different peak periods. So the fact that we saw that brilliance in his earlier career, and then the injury set, and he didn't, of course, he didn't go for the surgery he should have gone for. He was playing through those injuries, so he wasn't running as fast as he should. He wasn't shooting as he wasn't. He was avoiding contacts. He was jumping. Like if you watch Rashford of before, if a defender slides at him, he's jumping up immediately because he's trying to avoid an aggravation of that same injury because his whole ankle is messed up. But as soon as he went for that surgery at the last summer break and he came back, he is being on fire. So for me, if I have to pick one between Saka and Rashford, it's not even close. We're talking about a Rashford that can play as a right wing, he can play as a striker, and he's very potent at both of them. I can play both sides. Have you seen Saka play from the right before? Saka is stuck to one wing. He has to play from that wing. Have you seen Saka switch roles? No, because he's a one-legged player. He's a left footer that can't even cross with his right leg. You see, he is like I hate to say this, but Saka is just an advanced Anthony in Manchester United. He's just an upgraded Anthony. You know, he's so reliant on that left foot that the only thing his right foot does to help him run is just he needs 2 feet to run. That's the only thing. But Rashford can play on the left, can play on the right, can play through the middle. Come on now. When it comes to a team, utility and everything, you pick every time you pick Rashford over Saka.
Mm. So Kuti, they just roasted your star boy. They just
No. He didn't roast
Come
my
on now.
star boy. In
He's a
fact,
celebrity now. He wants to be a
the world
musician.
how
He's
ignorant
chilling with
he
Kim
is about
Kardashian.
football. Let me tell you, he didn't roast my star boy. He just showed the world how ignorant he is about football. Number one, when you want to know somebody that is ignorant about football, when they start bringing non-football matters into football,
No.
we are talking of who is a better player. You are talking of somebody is doing charity, somebody is a doctor, somebody
No,
is doing
I
picture
said
with Kim Kardashian.
I
Does
said
that have
apart from that
anything to
because
do
you
with
brought that
football?
up. You brought the whole
So
he's a
that
doctor and all
to
this.
show you
You
that
guys
he
brought the
needed
whole
to
job
bring
set.
non-football matters. He needed to bring non-football matters inside this matter to get points. That's one. Number two, he said something. He said when he knew Saka started as a left back. I need to
Yes,
correct that. But that's what I think, that his football knowledge is shallow.
that's not
Saka
true.
Saka started as an attacker. In fact, his first goal for Arsenal, it
Come on
was
now.
the left winger. He started as an attacker and he only went into that left back position when we had issues in the left back position.
Exactly.
And there was injury. And he played exceptionally well as a left back for a young boy at 18 years old. In fact, he even at that point, he was started ahead of your so-called established Luke Shaw in England team. Southgate was starting Saka ahead of Luke
The,
Shaw in
the,
England
the,
team.
Luke
Yes.
Shaw wasn't even in England team. Luke Shaw was injured that whole period.
Now,
Don't do this
let me
lie.
talk.
Luke
Let
Shaw
me
is the most
talk.
injured.
I
Luke Shaw
listened
just
when you
had the
were
last 2
talking.
years.
Let
No,
me
no, 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 no,
talk.
don't come and
Let me
lie here.
talk.
Luke Shaw didn't
Let me
even make.
talk.
Luke Shaw wasn't even making the Manchester United team. Don't come
Let
and
me
be bringing.
talk.
Luke Shaw had
Let me
injuries the
talk.
whole time. He was plagued by injuries for 3-4
Let
years
me
straight.
talk. Let me
So
talk.
don't do that. Don't
I
do
allowed you to finish all your points. You can say your point after mine. Let me talk.
that.
He even started
Talk.
ahead. He started ahead of established Shaw in the England national team as a left back. So number one, you don't even know when he started. He started as a left winger. Then he made another point. He said
Now listen.
Saka can only play from the right. It's a lie. There are matches Saka has played from the left. I will even remind you against Newcastle. If you remember, the nutmeg he gave Saint Maximan. Remember that ball? That if you watch the match, he played from the left. Saka can play from the left,
He
can play
ran
from
from
the
the
right.
left. He play from the left. He
Hello,
doesn't play from there.
let me
Don't do that.
talk. Saka
So
can play from the
you can
left. He
pinpoint
can play
one
from the
match. You
right.
can pinpoint one
Now,
match in over
now,
40 games you've played.
now,
One
I
match
can give.
when
I'm
you just
giving. No, why
nutmeg
I
one
picked that match. Why I
when you
picked that
nutmeg
match
person.
because that was a significant match, so that you remember. I can tell
It's
you
not
other
true.
matches where he
It's not
played from
true.
the left wing, but you will not know. Because if I tell you, you will not know. You don't watch Arsenal's matches.
I
I'll tell
watched
you
matches
another
that
match he played
match.
from the left. I'll tell you another match he played from the left against Charlton. FA Cup, he scored from inside the box. He played from the left.
What
So
FA Cup? What FA
Saka can
Cup?
play from the
I don't
left
know. Arsenal has
and he
left
can
the
play from the
competition
right.
so far away that I can't
Bro,
remember. What FA Cup?
bro, calm
Did you
down,
guys play FA
calm
Cup this
down,
year? It's
bro,
like you
calm
left
down.
too early.
Bro, calm down. I'm not talking of this season. I'm talking of his breakthrough season. I'm talking of his
Oh,
breakthrough season. For you to know that Saka can play from the right and can play from the left. He has
no,
played there and he has excelled. That's two. Three,
uh-huh.
you're talking of, now let's even talk of numbers. The so-called Rashford that you're shouting is having his best season has scored only 14 goals in Premiership. That's just one behind Martinelli. That's just
Okay.
one behind Martinelli. And you are making him out as if no, he has scored 25
Nobody,
goals. Harry Kane
nobody
has
said.
scored more than
I have
him.
not even mentioned goals.
So
I was just
even
talking
his
about his
best
ability.
season, bro, even his best season, not superb. It's just average. But to Manchester United's fan, is superb because you guys are used to mediocrity. After Ronaldo left, after Tevez left, you guys don't have players that give you that numbers anymore. So when you see little things, you think, oh, he's the best. The way you think Casemiro is the best DM because you've not had a very good DM in a very long while. You think Martinez is the best defender in the whole world. Every player of Manchester United is the
I like
best, and you
I
guys
like
are
the fact
90 points
that
behind the team
technically
that is on
you're making
top.
my
I don't
argument.
understand. I don't understand the logic behind where you guys claim your players are the best. If
No,
Rashford
no,
is
no.
the best, he's not the highest. Bro,
I'm not
finish.
a
If
Arsenal
Rashford is the
fan.
best, he's not the highest goal scorer in Premier League. One, he
Okay.
does not even have the highest assist in Premier League as a winger. Two, your team is not topping the league. Your team is 90 points behind person that is topping the league. Your
Okay.
team, your defense has conceded more than people that are first and second. Even Newcastle has considered less than you. But no, your defenders are the best. Your midfielders are the best.
Are you done?
Bro, leave the excuses.
How
Manchester
many clean sheets?
United, yes.
How many clean
Let me
sheets do
finish.
you have?
Leave the excuses. Manchester United are coming up. I agree. They've improved, but they are not where Manchester United fans think that they are. They should take a chill pill.
Okay, I like some of your points are valid, but most of them is just banter. It's typical of Arsenal fan. It's typical. You were talking about like you didn't just talk about Rashford now. You went for my whole team. So let me just come for your team.
No, no, let's stick to the. I'm still coming to that other part.
Yeah,
So let's stick to the Saka
you
and
you
Rashford.
saw how he left the conversation. But I can tell you solemnly, like I said
You
earlier,
left my team too. I'm talking
I'm not
about
going
Kim
to put down.
Kardashian. I don't understand.
I'm not going to put down Saka because I actually do like Saka. He has been in
You
my
don't have a
FPL.
choice. You have to like him.
No,
He's
no,
good.
slow
He's a
down, slow
star
down.
boy.
He has
You
been
have
in
to
my
like
FPL.
him.
He has
You don't
been in
have
my
a
FPL
choice.
I tell
There's
you,
no football
because
pundit that does not like Saka.
star boy.
slow down.
Star boy.
Like how I said, this conversation we're having now is not for It's not for me putting down Saka like he's not a good player. This conversation is who would I pick if I had to pick one
Yeah,
player.
yeah. To pick,
So
yeah,
you need to
yeah.
understand that if
As a deluded Man U fan, you pick Rashford. I understand.
no,
It's
it's not
normal.
even being deluded. It's who can I slot in every position I want? Who can play multiple positions for me? It's
Then Saka
Rashford.
is your answer.
Slow down. Who's faster?
Rashford
Rashford.
cannot play from the
Who
right.
scores free
He rarely
more?
plays
Rashford.
from the right.
Who scores goals more? Rashford. Like I could pick
That's a
like a
lie.
million stories, and it will be Rashford. It will be Rashford. Who is more ambidextrous with the foot? Who can go left and go right? Rashford.
Saka.
So, like I said, Arsenal is having a beautiful season, so it's making Saka look good. First things first,
So
you just mentioned
can we do something
slow
before you
down.
go? Wait.
I
It's just a
listen to
question
you.
so that you answer. So that you
I
answer.
listen to you. No, don't go
At
you.
21 years old. So
I
that you
have.
answer. It's a question for you. Your answer.
Oh,
It's in your
oh my!
time. At
I'm trying.
21 years old, can you tell
Don't
me how many
my
goals Saka
thought
scored
process.
and how
Don't
many
take my
goals has
thought process.
Rashford scored at 21 years old?
At 21 years, Rashford was battling with injury. I already told you this already. So just move. If you want to be comparing age wise,
Excuse.
I've told you this
Goals
before.
and assists
You
at
know you're my
21
friend.
years old.
If you want to compare Garnacho and Saka at the same age, and Garnacho is doing way better, way
So
better. You
Garnacho
know,
is better than Saka.
no.
Garnacho is better than Saka.
I'm talking about at that
Talking
same
about
age.
age,
If you
same
pick,
age.
you just brought up age at 21. Bring at 18, at 17. Was Saka as good as Garnacho? No,
I,
it's
I
not.
can
So
bring the
don't
stats.
make the
I can bring
yardstick.
the stats. At 18, Garnacho was not better than Saka.
You
At
see, now
18.
that's what I'm saying. Arsenal fans are deluded. At 18, Saka has not even scored 4 goals in his career. 4 goals. What are you talking
If you
about?
don't know,
And I'm talking.
don't come outside to express your ignorance.
No, I'm
At
telling you this.
18, Saka
No,
has
no.
more goals than Garnacho.
Garnacho is 17 and he's tearing apart everywhere. And I'm telling you, at that same age of
What?
17,
Where is he tearing apart?
Saka has not started up to 3 matches for us now. So
Where is he tearing
don't
apart?
come and be bringing argument. You can't say, okay, it's just like you saying, like how moving the yardstick. They'll say, okay, Messi at 28, was he as good as Ronaldo? Or Messi at 30, was he as good as Ronaldo? No, you can't do that. Don't bring age into it. We're just talking about holistically both players.
I'm,
Who is
I'm
better?
telling you,
At the
I'm
moment,
honestly,
I'm not done.
age-wise, everything.
I'm not done.
Saka,
Holistically,
no. Forget.
Rashford
Let's
is
move to another
Rashford has
argument. This
we have to
argument is
understand.
dead.
We have to understand this. Because it's hard for him to understand this. We have a new manager that is understanding his players and working with them over time. So this is the first time Rashford is having this manager that believes in him and pushes him to do the right thing and play from the right position. Your manager has been there for 4 years now. And I told you how we finished for 4 years now. So while Manchester United is a 6 months project, or let's say an 8 months project, Arsenal is a 4 year project. It took 4 years for Saka to be doing what he's doing right now. In 4 years' time,
Saka did
hold
not
on.
play.
Listen,
Saka did
how
not
long
have
do
his
you think it
debut
should take?
under.
Hold on.
Saka did not
Look
have
at
his
all we've
debut
achieved. Look at all we've
under
achieved.
Arteta.
Look at all we've achieved within this period. Look at all we have achieved this
You've
period.
achieved nothing.
Because
You've
now
achieved nothing.
everybody has a transition period. The same way you guys went to, after Wenger left, the slump before you found the right manager. It's always like that. See, Chelsea is crippled because of Potter. So I get it. There's that transition when you have a new manager, and sometimes it might not bring out the best in your players, especially when the managers are not up to par or they play a very funny kind of football. Mourinho was very defensive. Rashford couldn't express himself because Mourinho always tell you, think about conceding before you think about offense, before scoring. So don't concede. So our goal defense might be way better then, but we're not scoring enough goals. Well, we probably not win anything then because if you check it, we finished second under Mourinho. But was he a good coach for Manchester United? No, he wasn't. He won the Europa League, but a normal Manchester United fan will tell you Ten Hag is way better. Ten Hag plays better football and gets results. That's what Man U have always looked for. We've always wanted better football, not just to get results. We are used to getting results. We are used to getting trophies.